Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Okay. As we sit here right now, the Digital Circus Live 2024 is not going to happen.
Da, da, da.
No. So we didn't do pre-sale tickets. We hadn't even set a date after 2023's this year because we weren't sure. And I get that kind of someone will go, well, just decide and make it happen, won't they? But we weren't quite sure. We did, off the back of 2023 and the feedback, because we got great feedback, thank you. We did decide to do it. But subsequently, we've decided to not do it. Is this an insight into the real world right now?
Well, I don't think
Husband and wife team.
We absolutely love the Digital Circus Live.
100%.
And just because we're not going to be doing it in March 2024 does not mean that it won't be happening again. In fact, we have every intention of running that incredible event in the future, just not in March, April 2024.
Yes.
And we thought about it long and hard. And we've actually just come home from a business meeting, sat in the car park of Sultan's car.
Sat in our Citroen Berlingo by the beach.
Hashtag real life right there.
Comment, would you like to see us record one of these from the Berlingo by the beach? Let us know in the comments.
the Berlingo.
Give it a thumbs up, all that jazz.
No
we
one
will.
wants to see the Berlingo. It's okay, apart from Alan.
Love it.
But every quarter, one of the very few things that we do with ease is we do review our work, don't we?
Yes.
And we ensure that we have a quarterly review of where we've been and what we want to do and moving forward. We may not get well ahead on our list of stuff, but we do look at where we've moved from, don't we? And we talked about it today. And if we are to go ahead with the Digital Circus Live 2024, so the fourth instalment of that incredible show today,
Cue explosions.
we need to get our ship in order by September and be starting that process from September 2023.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, we found at the end of this year's event, which we loved, it had taken up so much brain space and energy. And for anyone of you who's been following us before, we've got some challenges with some of our children and health related things at the moment, which always takes brain space. That actually by the end of this year's event, we sat back and we were exhausted.
We were. There were some businessy stuff supporting it as well, but we were shattered and exhausted. It took up a lot of effort, and I think it's the why did it take up so much effort, which we'll tell in a minute, is the kind of for me the key part, but. It does take a lot of effort and leave us shattered.
And I think if we're going to do it again, we need a proper growth plan for it, because we've tested the model for the last few years and it clearly works. And for those who turn up, we have the best day, we have the best speakers, we have the best learnings, and we have the best energy. And we come away going, yeah, let's do it again. And everyone feels that in the room. However, from a financial point of view, it's not.
It does okay.
It's an okay wage, but actually at this point, there's only two of us in Yellow Tuxedo. Could our energy be spent in different ways at this point financially?
Yeah.
And secondly, if we are to do it bigger, then actually we need to have a team behind us really to help us drive that forward so that more people, we need a bigger audience.
Well, you are, yeah, that's what I was waiting there.
We need a bigger audience.
This is, whatever Emily's saying true, but the fact of the matter is, as we sit here, right, so if we were going to start talking about the Digital Circus Live today, we have two main ways of kind of how we're going to sell tickets, right? So we have our core audience, the people who've committed to us on email, Digital Circus members, our social media and things like that. We can then do paid ads, and we can do anything else, right? Anything else you can think of. We've done quite a bit of it. We've collaborated with larger brands, and fact of the matter is 99% of tickets sold come from what we're calling our core audience. That's email subscribers, that's friends, peers, that's Digital Circus members who are friends, network and everything else, which is fine. Other than our actual core audience is not that big. I think quite happy to share. We have about 520 email subscribers, and you can see all our social numbers. Feel free to just go and look at them. So when we're looking at kind of just over 100 people coming, actually, it's not a bad percentage when you think about it, but we have to put a lot of effort into that, into the social media, into the talking about it, connecting with new people and everything else. And what we've said is, actually, I'm not going to say it's going to become easier if we have a larger audience, but there is an element of percentages engagement to your audience, isn't there?
And fresh blood. We have
Fresh blood.
in the night.
Thank you, fresh blood.
But in the nicest way, we have spent 3 years on that adventure, and we've got a really good core network. We do. But at some point, that core network will be quite limited by the fact that we bring in the same speakers and we have the same people attending. And actually, we are a global brand and we want to be a global brand. And I think there are a lot of people out there who could still benefit from the Digital Circus live, life and community. That's what I did there, all three things.
Live, life and community. Good plugs all round.
So really, our effort for the next few months, rather than going straight into sales.
There is one other little thing, a reason we're not doing it. Because it's quite bijou, we like to say bijou, of intimate, 100 odd plus people coming along to it. And because it doesn't make us £100,000,
That'd be nice if it
I know. What we are doing is we're shifting our messaging massively for 3, 4, 5 months. I think it was 6 months last year. And then actually we have to shift back to Yellow Tuxedo business as usual.
Yeah, that's true.
And that shift for the past 2 years has been not seamless.
You mean there's other things that we can deliver in our business that we don't talk about for 6 months of the year? What's that about?
No, I know, right? I know. And then go, why are people not buying the Visibility Voyager? Because you spent 6 months talking about the Digital Circus Live. So yes, exactly that. So we want to put our efforts into growing our audience, hence more content.
And then we recognise that YouTube has always been our biggest traffic driver to our website. Fact, forever.
And our favourite. My favourite. Is it your favourite? It's my favourite.
It's probably my favourite, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. I mean, I've watched watched more car videos than I ever want to in my lifetime because of Alan. But, we consume YouTube in our house daily.
We don't watch terrestrial TV. We watch YouTube on TV.
Why would we not spend time on a platform that we enjoy?
And love.
And so actually spending time creating content and increasing our audience, doing a podcasting project like the Digital Circus Live, which is really something that we wanted to do for a long time. But actually by doing that may well help increase our audience. It's at that time we'll go, let's revisit
I think
live.
So. However, there is a tiny caveat that there may be a smaller, more intimate, the Digital Circus Live just for the Digital Circus members. If you're in the Digital Circus community and you quite like the idea of that, in the comments, engagement, all the normal stuff. Thank you. Shall we do it there?
Yeah, I think my only...
Emily's on a roll, right? This is so funny. We were discussing this. She's like, I've kind of got it. Then in the video we recorded just before this, she's like, no, I've got more to say. And go for it.
This is the whole thing we're planning, and we don't get this very often because usually we have a child bouncing off the walls around us and we go, 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 go. We've got 5 minutes film.
We have 6 hours a day without a child.
The purpose of this video, I suppose, then really is to say, if you've got a path planned out and it's not going quite to plan, it's okay if it doesn't go to plan. We happily admit we love the Digital Circus Live. However, we recognise that our time should be spent on other activities at this point to make that event even better than it was before, just a little bit further down the way.
There's one last one.
Alan, we're trying to go.
It's our right as human beings to be able to change our mind. So if in 4 months' time we go, it's back on, then do you know what? This is just a piece of content.
In 4 months, we may have massively grown. We might be the big Ali
Abduls. Might have 1 billion subscribers. 1 billion? Does anyone know? Is Mr. Beast the biggest, or is it still PewDiePie? I don't know. I lose track.
I'm not down with the kids. I wouldn't know.
No, I know. Right. Shall we?
Shall we? He does this going, Emily, tie it up. Yeah.
Like and subscribe, all that jazz.
All
please.
of that jazz. Thank you for listening to us ramble.
Actually, proper one. Stephen Bartlett says you need to make your like and subscribe sound different to everyone else's. So this is what I'm asking you, please.
Like and subscribe.
No, better than that. Oh. But if you are a friend or fan of Yellow Tuxedo or the Digital Circus and you've not, subscribed to our channel, please do. I'd be truly appreciated because #BeSocial is one of the things we stand by. And likewise, please, you don't have to leave a comment if you're not quite sure what to write, but do give it a thumbs up. And if you're not quite sure what to write for a comment, why not leave us your favourite emoji? That's I'd love to see a load of emojis. Ben designed a new emoji.
I was about to say, our middle child, Ben, who's 7, nearly 8, went to the Apple store the other day and designed his own emoji. And I thought
an Egyptian zombie emoji.
I mean, it was very complex and I'm not quite sure what it stood for, but it was cool.
And on that bombshell,
bye.
Bye.